a fiery Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas. Authorities finding explosives and combing through his disturbing writing, saying he was intent not just on ending his life, but in sending a message. Here's ABC's Mo Olengi.
It was an explosion that rocked Sin City on New Year's Day. Now, newly released images and details emerging from authorities, shedding light on why a highly decorated Green Beret blew up a rented Cybertruck and took his own life in front of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Police saying 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger left notes on his cell phone stating that his actions were a wake-up call to America.
In there, you can read just a couple of the excerpts. We are the United States of America, the best country, people to ever exist. But right now, we are terminally ill and headed towards collapse. This was not a terrorist attack. It was a wake-up call. Americans only pay attention to spectacles and violence. What better way to get my point across than a stunt with fireworks and explosives?
Investigators say the notes on his phone providing clues to a possible motive.
Why did I personally do it now? I need to cleanse my mind of the brothers I've lost and relieve myself of the burden of the lives I took.
Master Sergeant Livelsberger was on approved leave from his base in Germany when he rented this Cybertruck from the Turo app on December 28th in Denver. Investigators tracing his movements from Colorado to New Mexico to Arizona through Tesla charging stations, releasing these new images showing him at a charging station in Kingman, Arizona.
Tesla did provide and helped our team be able to recover the thumb drive that records other types of data to include video by the Tesla.
And also parking the Cybertruck in Las Vegas.
You're going to see some descriptive clothing that matches some of the other video that we've recovered along the route.
The Army Special Forces Master Sergeant pulling into the Trump International Hotel Valet at 7:35 Wednesday before pulling out, returning an hour later, and then just 17 seconds after pulling in, the explosion, flames tearing through the vehicle. Police saying he shot himself in the head. At least 7 people were injured. Police identifying Livelsberger by his distinctive tattoos.
You can see a tiger tattoo.
Inside that burned-out truck, police also uncovering 2 semi-automatic weapons and canisters of gasoline, camp fuel, and large firework mortars. Police's passport and wallet, which contained his military ID, were also in the vehicle. Investigators are also looking at reports that Livelsberger appeared on a reality TV show on the History Channel, The Ultimate Soldier Challenge, under the name Matt Berg. Inside Edition sharing video from 12 years ago showing the elite soldiers.
So the question is, if we knew of a alias of Matthew Berg and he had been previously on a television show, we've seen that reporting but have not verified that reporting.
Sources say Livelsberger was divorced and had recently remarried. His wife reportedly telling authorities he'd been out of the house in Colorado Springs since Christmas, following a dispute over allegations of infidelity. Investigators scouring the suspect's background. FBI and local police searching this townhome in Colorado Springs. Neighbors stunned.
He seemed normal. His wife is very nice. They just had a baby.
And while investigators say they found those notes, the condition of the United States, they say the hostility was not directed towards President-elect Trump.
Through these interviews, we've found that the subject held no animosity towards the president-elect.
Instead, authorities pointing to an all-too-common trauma.
This incident is more public and sensational than usual. It ultimately appears to be a tragic case of suicide involving a heavily decorated combat veteran who is struggling with PTSD and other issues.
Our thanks to Mo. If you or someone you know is struggling with thoughts of suicide or other mental health crises, free confidential help is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call or text the National Lifeline at 988. We turn now to Y2K, fashion having another moment. Whether you were rocking the shiny pants and sparkly shoes yourself or just dazzled by the throwback clips all over social media, the iconic looks of the early aughts are all over again. BC's Morgan Norwood with another look.
They say everything old is new again. Fashion is no exception. From Main Street,
I bought the exact dress that Miss Paris Hilton wore to the 2003 Teen Choice Awards, and I just got it.
To Main Stage, Blake Lively rocking Britney Spears' Versace dress from 2002, and Kendall Jenner paying homage to Paris Hilton's emblematic birthday dress. Ice Spice in a tracksuit reminiscent of the unofficial uniform of the early aughts.
This is my first ever juicy bag that I thrifted.
People everywhere bringing new life into old classics from a bygone era known in pop culture as Y2K.
They're wearing a lot of like authentic Y2K clothes. I'm seeing a lot of layering, some dresses over jeans. All these things are coming back into rotations,
emulating some of the coolest looks of the time.
It's come full circle, and happy and pleased to know that, I had some kind of effect on fashion, because this is my life. I love fashion.
An era that earned its spot as a pillar of modern fashion.
How do you keep cranking out the great outfits? I just wear overalls and jeans by now.
Oh, you know what? And I see that coming in the near future, too. I totally do.
The year 2000, shortened as Y2K, was a theory that there might be a technological apocalypse as computer calendars changed from 1999 to 2000.
On New Year's Day, 2000, is it possible that we're in for an international disaster?
And the clock struck midnight, but the much-feared apocalypse never was.
The Y2K doomsday, once predicted, has not yet materialized.
Set the scene for me. I think it's like 1998 to 2002, just that kind of encapsulated time period, fantasizing what space looked like.
That intergalactic fashion fantasy, famously flaunted by a young Raven Simone in the Disney Channel original movie Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century.
Satus Lapidus, there's a ship set to be launched tonight.
Raven, one of Y2K's it girls, went on to star in her self-titled show, That's So Raven.
Could that be Raven Baxter?
What do you recall as your most iconic look? The first one I'm going to say is a jean suit. That was a big one. A green embroidered jacket, which was the title outfit for That's So Raven. And then Cheetah Girls.
And in Destiny's Child's chart-topping record, Survivor.
Survivor is my song. It's like probably my favorite song that Destiny's Child ever did.
Tina Knowles is a bona fide curator of Y2K fashion, the genius behind Destiny's Child's greatest looks.
We have a one Tina Knowles who always dresses Destiny's Child in nothing but the best.
One of the favorite things that I did, they wore these black leather corsets that we made from scratch, and a lot of work went into them. We wanted them to cross over and go into pop and not just be R&B singers. And they said they just need to be in some jeans and t-shirts like everybody else. And thank God we didn't listen.
Okay, let's try it on.
Content creator Aaron Miller.
You're an NSYNC fan? Yeah, I thought you were too.
Donning vintage garments. You heard that right. Y2K is officially vintage.
This is how I dress. Oh, rock chick, Mom.
I think that Gen Z, they probably feel like they missed out on Y2K fashion because some of them were not born. So maybe it's a little bit of a novelty for them.
But as Y2K fashion returns, with it comes a reevaluation of the beauty standards of that time. Heard loud and clear in America's Next Home.
She needs to lose 5 to 3 pounds.
They're all fat. The entire room is fat. I'm fat. You're all fat.
When I was younger, it was at the forefront of my mind because covers of magazines would be all about dieting and exercises, which is just crazy to witness when you're like a young teen. Being thin was very important at that time, and if you weren't thin, you were fat. There was no such thing as thick. I can't get into a sample size. I like cheese grits. People that put the clothes on and the people that were on my team made to feel a lot thicker than everybody else, which opened the door to a lot of different other things. Like I had other types of body surgeries, lipo and a tummy tuck and all kinds of stuff. Never really helped because I always gained weight afterwards. I think I'm just supposed to be a thickie.
Back in the 2000s, it was all about that one aesthetic.
Especially for African American women, we have curves. And so to celebrate those curves, I was so happy about it because I was told a lot of times that, that they need to lose weight. Oh my God, no. I mean, I remember them getting a Grammy and it's still being really hard for me to get clothes for them. No, she is curvy. She's too short. It was amazing the things that they said to me.
And how did you navigate that? I mean, hearing those things about your girl.
I told them to kiss where the sun doesn't shine, and that one day you will be begging to dress them.
Destiny's Child went on to records, each member easily recognized by their individualized yet in-sync styles, on display in their body-positive anthem, Bootylicious.
Why do you think Y2K fashion is making this comeback now?
I think these young people are doing the damn thing. They're unapologetic. Like what they like. They don't really worry about what somebody's got to say about it. To see these young kids really appreciating and acknowledging what an effect that had on fashion is just, I mean, I get emotional about it.
Hi, I'm Raven from That's So Raven, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Do you ever imagine that so many years later, people are still looking back at your looks and recreating them? Listen, I am humbled and amazed, and it brings me joy to know that it's influenced a new generation, and I hope you wear it better. Is there this pause that maybe we should hold off on bringing those toxic beauty standards back? Girl, they're still here. They're all still here. They're just in different ways. Bring it back. Let's see how we act this time. Maybe we learned from our mistake, but for the new generation, they're out here. You be out here, boo-boo. I'm going to support you 100% because you're paving the way for someone else.
Our thanks to Morgan. When we come back, Dry January and its health benefits. Why the nation's leading public health spokesperson says it's more important than ever to quit the sauce.
If you're living with HIV, imagine being good to go without daily HIV pills.